Coach Hart, Nikki, you go.
Levante Bentley, Trevor Woods. Is that kind of your starting package as the game day is close ahead?
Early in the season, I thought it would be, and now Nikai and Jeremiah Brown are making a really big push, and so we've been mixing these guys up. And I always talk about competition keeping them up at night, but now they're keeping me up at night because I'm trying to think who's going to be that guy for me. And they've been playing really well, and so I'm excited to see who's going to come out on top. But I feel good with any four of those guys going in.
Adam, you got one.
Jeremiah Brown, you mentioned he's kind of moved from edge to linebacker throughout his career. What does he bring to your room?
Well, he gives the pass rush, when you're talking about any type of pressures. He has that ability to do that. But then he has a physical set that in certain packages he can set an edge because he did play in. And then he can run. The kid can run. I mean, he really can run. He's an athletic kid, and he's a try-hard kid. Like every day, he's up 5 o'clock in the morning in the indoor stretching in the dark, which is kind of scary. Somebody that big, when you walk in, he's sitting there stretching. But he's getting ready for the day. And so I'm happy with his progress. He's taking great notes, and he's really locked in this year. And his development it's just been something remarkable to see. So when game day comes, I think you guys are going to be talking about him and what he can bring to our packages on defense.
Right, you go.
Coach, a lot of times we'll see there's a set 2-3 guys and they play almost all the snaps. But with this group, do you see this as something where there could be a lot of situational things, a lot of rotation because so-and-so might be better on 3rd and long, so-and-so might be better on 3rd and short, or whatever?
No, you're exactly right. There's some of that going on now, and it's causing us to have some really good discussions in the coach's office on what we can do and what we can do. And now you also can do a multiple things. So for example, without getting into too much, let's think about certain packages now that you don't have to sub, where we can just get to it right now, and now it keeps the offense a little bit on their feet. They can't say, oh, here comes 42, so let's do this. Now it's, oh, he's already in the game because he can play inside backer. Now he can go on the edge, and there's no adjustment to it. Same thing with a Bentley, now Nikai Hill-Green, who's came in, and then Trevor. When you think about 3rd and long, having a 3-down linebacker, a guy who's credible, a guy who can play all 3 downs, and he can impact and raise people to his game. It just gives you a lot of good options. So, we're to that point now where do we have packages for guys? We do. But then we also can be multiple and keep a couple guys on the field and go through each one of those packages.
Sounds like Coach Livingston told us a few weeks ago that the green dot may rotate. Typically you see that as a linebacker, but if you're going to have that type of a rotation to pull guys on and off the field, is that a position that you see one of your guys having that communication with?
It'll be the linebackers. It will be the linebackers, and I think it goes back to the previous question because we have guys that can cover, rush, and be 3-down linebackers, that it'll be linebackers that'll have that green dot.
So is that a situation where if in different packages you pull that guy off of the field and then he can come back out onto the field and then maybe it's like hand signals?
Well, hand signals, okay, first of all, that's not going away. Because in college ball, different than NFL, you have a lot more tempo. So, and then the hashes, of course, are also wider. So NFL, you got hashes at about, 6 yards apart. College is at 13. So when that ball is going tempo and it gets put on that far hash, that backside corner may not get that call from the green dot. So you're still going to have those signals going to make sure everybody gets there. So that part is not going away. But as far as the green dot issue, having multiple backers, let's say if you got one on that has a green dot, we also have one off that has a green dot as well. And then they can go in and out.
So you can only have one guy on the field, but you can have multiple mics and
Correct.
helmets.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tyler, you go.
Trevor mentioned earlier in camp how he felt like he was being seen less by the quarterback, playing lower, closer to the line of scrimmage, and we've seen him make a couple plays in pass coverage throughout camp. I mean, how much of a weapon do you feel like he can be for you guys in pass defense?
Well, when you take a guy who's played safety and he understands route combinations and reading from high, and now you put him lower, it's just a quicker read for him. I mean, that's the only thing you have to get adjusted to. And this kid has instincts. So with the instincts he has, it hasn't been an issue. So now he's able to play those windows and those holes that are not read by the quarterback because he understands coverages and get in there and be able to make some plays. So his IQ is phenomenal and his instincts are really, really good for us in that room.
And then you mentioned Nikai too. Obviously, he's got a lot of experience playing for good defenses at Michigan. I mean, how much has that translated so far, just kind of plugging him in and picking things up pretty quickly?
Yeah. So our defense is similar to a couple of things he's done. But I think the biggest thing that Nikai has brought is just that professional attitude on how to talk loud early and often, how to get those calls out and make sure, we're playing as a unit, so you don't have to just say such and such call. You can call somebody's name, and he does that, and now the other guys get that. Like, who cares if they know on the other side his name or not? You want to make sure the communication is getting over there. And now, as you see, if you've been at the practices, there's a lot more talking, there's a lot more activity, there's a lot more high five because everybody's on the same page. And now that's rotating to those other linebackers, and they're doing the same thing. So his impact as far as showing how to be a professional has been invaluable.
Last one.
Coach, any good linebacking core is able to get downhill and stop the run. How are you coaching that and preparing your linebackers to work with the defensive line to stop the run?
Well, it has to be a mentality first. To play linebacker, you have to have the mentality to want to run down there and put your face in the fan, to get in there and mix it up with the D-line and the O-lineman. That's first a mentality. Once you have the mentality, then after that, it's really trying to hold the leash and tell them when to and when not to. So it's more of that now because these guys are really acting like boy dogs. And I got to pull them back. We like it when Coach Prime said, hey, it's stud, it's not tackle. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it when he say, hey, man, it's tackle, not touch. You understand the difference, right? And I'm getting that now. Guys are actually hitting, and he's saying, hey, pull them back. And that's what I want, and that's what we're getting out of those guys.
One more try, go ahead.
I can imagine the harder part of the position change for Trevor was adjusting to the run, reading guards, different role in the run fit. How have you seen him develop in that area?
Well, I think the first thing he did is this offseason, he put on some weight. He's up to 224 now. And, that was the first thing. He needed to do that. Now he's been taking the coaching from us as far as how to place your hands, pad level, and how to strike and get off blocks. Besides that, I've had some great friends that I've called on because I think it takes a tribe, it takes a unit to coach a guy like that, to get him up to speed, like a Dalius Thomas, Ray Lewis has chimed in. We've had Coach Hilo, who's joined us now, and he's got in there too in the mix. So, when you get that individual coaching all the time, someone's always in your ear, and it's just not me because I got 12 guys in my room, you get better, especially when you want to get better, and you'll see that from him, from Trevor.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.